everybody is tipsy. Got the 2-piece, and you know that it's crispy. Welcome to the Chicken and Whiskey Podcast. We keep the combo flowing, hope you got a tall glass. Hosted by your favorite two, Rob Hollywood and J Duke the Groove.
What up, world? 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 It's your man, Rob Hollywood.
And I'm your boy, J Duke the Groove.
The Groove in the building. This is the Chicken and Whiskey Podcast, episode number 61. Come back for your bunker ass, for your stinking ass on another Friday afternoon. And we do what we do and we say what we say. So we appreciate you tuning in wherever it may be listening to and all of that shit. Thank you. Hit like, subscribe, share, and all of that. So we're going to get into the shits and what we do about that time. J.D., what's up on your side of the world, man?
Man, it's all good, dog, man. We just getting ready for New Year's, man.
Yeah, we getting ready for New Year's at this point. Well, Christmas coming up, so
Christmas coming up.
That week, so
getting ready, but yeah, dog, man, just getting ready, geared up, man. I still got some last minute shopping. I don't care how much I plan, dog. I always have some last minute shopping.
I ain't bought a motherfucking thing.
Yeah, dog. I call myself trying to do better, but it is what it is, man. You know, I'll take care of it, man. They got a lot of stuff in the news, man. Us folk in education. Mm-hmm. You know, this definitely the wind down time. I think I mentioned that the last time, man. This holidays, man, everybody kind of ready to wind it on down. So it gives you a chance to kind of see what's going on in the world, man. So yeah, dog, I'm kind of ready to get in the shits, man. We got some good stuff, and you know, I think it's about time to get the people what they want.
Let's get the people what they want. Get the people what they want. Yo, my side of the world, I ain't been doing shit, though. I've been watching TV and shit. I've been excited, you know. Y'all getting a real fresh episode today. This shit just recorded, so I'm really excited about where our HBCUs are going. I am a PWI graduate, but if there was a thing called the alumni transfer portal, I'd be in that, bro. I'm with the HBCUs right now, man. I'm really with y'all now, brother, because if you don't know, J-Do is a member of the HBCU graduate community. I'm a member of the PWI community, but I am all for this HBCU shit that Deion Sanders has kicked off. I'm going to give him credit for this. I'm going to give him credit for this. And we're going to get into that.
We're going to talk about it a little bit.
We're going to talk about it.
I am definitely... and always, it's not just about what's going on now, man. Just as a HBCU grad, the Southern University and A&M College, you know, there is a level of pride that goes along with it. But let's be honest. There's a lot of bullshit that go along with it too.
Of course. But today we gonna talk about the good shit.
Today is all about the good shit.
We're gonna talk about the good shit.
We'll get into it, man. But so you've been chilling.
Yeah.
You've been doing your thing. You ready to jump into this holiday spirit and all of that good old stuff. Question.
Yeah. Don't forget we gotta get to open shots.
When you gonna do your shopping?
A couple days before. I mean, you know, being that I don't have any kids. It's just me and my wife. It's gonna be real quick.
Are you going to this is what I really was getting to. Are you going to the mall?
That's what I'm really regretting. I'm gonna have to go to the mall.
You gotta
go to the mall.
You gotta go to the mall.
I really don't want to do that shit, man. And you better go now. The later you wait, the worse it gets. I really don't want to go to the mall, but I'm gonna have to go.
I'm gonna end up having to go.
I'm gonna have to go.
Dog.
Gonna have to go.
Anyway,
yeah.
That being said, that leads me to the next thing, man, because it makes you want to take a shot.
Yeah. So what you drinking on over there, my brother? I got some new shit over here. I think.
You got some new shit. I think I showed y'all this before, man. I'm on that Loco Pollo. Wild Turkey.
Wild Turkey 101.
I like this Wild Turkey, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It's you know, this is what my grandfather used to drink, dog. And
Yeah, grandparents used to drink that wild turkey. Now, hey, being in the South, hey, don't be acting like you ain't never had no wild turkey in the South. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you from the South, man, and you was around the old folks, they was drinking some wild turkey. And I will say this, man, it is a very, very good bottle. It's priced well. I like the 101 better than the regular. And it's something good to sip on, real sweet. And I will admit, like I've been kind of getting into my what they call it? What's the people that taste wines? They be smelling the wine and tell you all the different notes.
Connoisseur shit. Yo,
connoisseur, Sauvignon, whatever that shit is. Yeah, I'm doing all that right now, man. I'm smelling whiskeys, telling you all the notes and the type of barrels and the char and all that stuff. So man, I'm getting into it. So if you want something good for the holidays, man, y'all go pick up y'all a bottle of wild turkey. But when you pick up a bottle of wild turkey, don't forget to pick you up a bottle of Uncle Nearest right along with it.
Cause I got that right. I got that right here.
There you go, dog. So that's what you drinking on?
Well, actually, I'm not. I'm actually. I want to talk about two things that I'm drinking on. I'm not drinking on it right now, but I'm drinking on this one right now. It's a 94 proof Tennessee straight bourbon whiskey called James Ownby. If you can see it on the screen. If you're not watching on screen, you see I only got a little corner left because I've been drinking it all week actually. I've been. This is actually pretty good, man. James Ownby. If you're on YouTube, if you're on other thing, check it out. It's actually pretty good. I do.
OWNBY.
Yep, I do. James OWNBY Reserve. It's a reserve bottle. Old Smoky Distillery. Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I like to tell you where it's made at. This is what I'm drinking on. I've been drinking it all week, like I said, but I do have Uncle Nearest beside me. But I also want to bring this up because this is a question for you. Me and my mom was talking about this the other day. Me and mom and your wife being a text together. I'm like, yeah. They be talking more than I do. Dog, do you drink eggnog?
You know what? I've grown to like eggnog.
I've always liked eggnog. I used to fuck eggnog up as a kid, and I still drink eggnog. But now I've started adding liquor to my eggnog.
See, that's the thing. We always had in my house. We always had liquor in eggnog.
Oh no, I wasn't like that.
So you couldn't. So you like when I was little, I couldn't have it.
Oh okay.
And so then, as you get older, you know when you get to them teenage years, they start letting you take a sip here and there, and then you grow fond of it. It is the holiday drink for me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, eggnog is definitely a holiday drink for me because I just like eggnog. But now that I'm older, I like eggnog with some whiskey, or I actually put rum in it too. I like eggnog with alcohol. I think rum is what you're supposed to drink it with. Yeah, rum. Because I be putting Bacardi in mine. I like eggnog and rum. So that's my thing.
I tell you what else I like. I like the Baileys.
Yeah, the Baileys.
The Baileys.
Yeah,
I like that. The little cream liqueurs. Yeah, those all they work, man. Rum shotta, all that.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm drinking Ownby Reserve Tennessee whiskey. That's what I'm about to drink. I'm not gonna take a shot of this because it's not really a shot type drink. I'm gonna take a shot of Uncle Nearest because it make me feel a little better about it. And then we gonna get into the shits and do what we do, and we gonna talk about some. It's a lot of HBCU business going on, so we're going to get into that tonight and get the people what they want, and let's get into it. Get the people what they want. So, dog, take us to the shots, my brother. I got my Uncle Nearest shot right over here.
Pour it up, man. Hey, man, it goes up to it.
Down to it.
Because we do it.
Because we're used to it.
For those
who don't do it,
let's get fucked up.
Let's get fucked up. This week's episode of the Chicken and Whiskey Podcast is brought to you by Wingstop. Wingstop Arlington, to be more specific, where we know you want that sauced and tossed Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now located at their new location at 2030 South Cooper. That's Arlington, Texas, 76013. Go check them out. Let me move my microphone so y'all can see this. I believe.
See what you did there.
I believe. If you're tuned in on YouTube, you can see it. If you're not, I have just switched hoodies to show y'all that I believe in my HBCUs. I believe in Jackson State University. As a PWI graduate of the University of Southern Mississippi, I now believe in Jackson State. I now believe in the HBCU community. Call me a traitor what you want. I'm gonna have this shirt on Saturday when they go to the what's it called? Celebration Bowl. Y'all ever been there?
Yeah.
I don't know y'all been there.
Boy, stop.
Y'all might have been to the SWAC championship, but have y'all been to the Celebration Bowl?
Boy, stop.
I am now a believer.
Don't do it.
I believe.
Hey, you new to this HBCU thing, dog. You picture your allegiance. Hey,
I believe.
That's cool, dog. You a little JSU
bandwagon.
believer.
I'm a believer. I'm a believer. I'm a believer.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'm gonna tell you.
I'm a believer.
As much as I love my HBCUs, hey, these rivalries between HBCUs are real. So kudos. Kudos to they state.
I was in a thank you. Hey, kudos to them.
Kudos.
I felt
let them have a moment in the sun.
I always said
they still a pot ass school.
Hey, I always said that, as much as I supported when I was younger, as much as I messed with Jackson State, but I felt like if I didn't go to that school, I can't really wear that shirt. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird.
I feel you.
It's kind of like a frat shirt. Bruhs, y'all understand. If you're not a bruh, hey, I understand. You can't wear nobody else chapter shirt. You ain't really fuck with them. But I'm okay because I'm a believer now in Jackson State.
Yeah. You good, dog?
I'm good, dog.
You good over there?
I think I'm good over here, man. I think I can talk myself through this, why I got on a Jackson State shirt, if I choose to wear one. So, tonight I have on my Jackson State. Yeah, right. I get sweated for wearing my Jackson State shirt. So, with that said, if you've been tuned into the news, you might have seen that Jackson State and Coach Prime, Coach Deion Sanders, has shook up the world.
Coach Prime. I can't do it.
I'm kind of iffy on that too. I'm a little iffy on that too. I like to call him by his name, Coach Sanders, Coach Deion. Get that man his respect. You don't call nobody else by no nickname.
Yeah,
but I think I'm really proud of the HBCU community, and I'm really proud of Deion Sanders and what they're doing over there, because they are shaking up the world. If you've been tuned into the news, you saw waves. They just got the number one, maybe number two, they whatever, commit, recruit, whatever the official word is, to change from Florida State. I wish I had his name right here. Can't find my phone, but they got him to change to decommit from Florida State and commit and sign to attend Jackson State University. He left a Power 5 to attend an HBCU. And I think that this is the beginning of something big if it continues. If it's not a one-hit wonder, if Deion's not there, because Deion is the push behind it, obviously. If Deion doesn't decide to leave when his kids graduate, which is another story, I think that this is something big, dog. I think this is good for college football. I think this is getting the HBCU schools to a point where, these athletes can go to HBCUs again and be okay once they start getting to the league, because no one's went yet. And I don't really know who's graduating from JSU or who might be in the draft this year, but I think next year they're gonna have some boys going to the league, man. And I think that's good for HBCUs across the board. So I'm really excited to see how this turns out.
All right.
And tell me your side, because I'm a little excited as a PWI.
This is my 2 cents. My 2 cents on this. One, y'all gotta forgive me, man. We started pouring up a little bit early tonight. But one, it's huge. This is a big deal. You can't sweep this one under the rug. This is a big deal. It's such a big deal. I mean, just look at the responses. I mean, look at the response from Dabo Swinney.
Yep, I got that right there. We can talk about that too. Go ahead and continue, and then I'll give you the Dabo Swinney post for our listeners and viewers.
But the response to it is enough to show that this ain't just no run-of-the-mill change the hat at the table type signing day shenanigans. No, this is a shift. Will it be a sustainable shift is the question. I think you were correct in saying that right now it's not about the HBCU, or I believe it's not about the HBCU. It's about Deion. Now, can the HBCU sustain this if Deion were in the picture? And that's, I think, a question that still remains. That being said, this is the key, is the fact that you got to back up into history and understand that at one point in time, black players, black athletes, some of the best athletes in the country came from HBCUs.
Jerry Rice, Shannon Sharp,
absolutely.
Steve McNair.
Yeah, dog. I mean, you saw these guys at the HBCUs. What ended up happening was the dynamic of recruiting changed. And when these bigger schools were able to give these athletes money under the table, then it completely changed recruiting. If I'm an athlete coming from a low socioeconomic situation, I can't pass up the opportunity to
go
change
to a Power
my
5
family's life. I mean, these guys going to these Power 5 schools to go to a UT, to go to a Ohio State, to go to a Notre Dame or a Alabama. Like, that could have potentially been life-changing generationally for a young recruit's family. And so what has changed now? I mean, the schools are no different. You still have Power 5s, you still have HBCUs. If I were to make an argument, I think I can make the argument to say that it may be even less parity now, where you only have a group of schools that have a chance to win it all. So what has been the shift? What has been the change? I think all credit has to go to Deion. He is making major waves, and he is truly earning his keep as a recruiter. But more than that, there's something that you have to know beyond that, and it's the fact that these players now can get paid over the table.
Absolutely. So go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so do you? I'm gonna give you two phrases that I believe, and y'all hear me out. Two phrases I believe with this. You since you're a coach, you can probably tell our listeners what the NIL means. The NIL agreement. Is it NIL? NLI?
NIL.
NIL. Can you tell them what that means and what that agreement is?
Right. So essentially, and I won't bore you with all the details, but it goes back to Ed O'Bannon, a basketball player for UCLA in the 90s.
What his brother Ed and he had a brother too, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a brother playing, the O'Bannon brother.
Ed and Charles, I think.
So they Ed actually sued to basically to get rights.
It was the video games behind it,
EA
wasn't
Sports.
it? EA Sports, yep.
Yeah, EA Sports.
For using his likeness.
Exactly.
Go ahead,
for using his likeness. So NIL means name, image, and likeness, which I know many of our listeners know already. But essentially what has happened now is that now players can be paid for their name, image, and likeness rights. And how does this affect recruiting? Well, now a recruit can go to a school and not only get the scholarship, but also get paid for the rights for merchandising to use their name, their image, or their likeness. And so now you have a recruit that signs to a school, and that school can say, upon signing with us, you will now get paid such and such amount.
And outside people can pay you as well to use you as their name, likeness, like EA Sports, video games. Correct. And it's different media networks and things like that, and people in branding companies can use you as a influencer or whatever the word may be, and you can be endorsed by these companies. I think that this is modern day, because of the way our white people are reacting. I think that this is modern day. This may sound weird, but I think it makes sense. This is modern day Emancipation Proclamation.
Emancipation. Yeah, it's emancipation.
Because now these coaches and schools are upset because students are transferring or getting in the portal, all that long story shit. How you can leave a school and whatever and go to these black schools because you're free. And you got people like Dabo Sweeney, or was it Dabo Sweeney that said that shit? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. Let me quote him. He said, "It's chaos right now. Tampering galore. Adults manipulating young men. Education is like the last thing right now."
Correct.
And then we'll break down that last sentence in a second here, because you was wrong, motherfucker.
So there's a couple of things that we have to put on the table. When you get recruited out of high school, one of the things that was always told to us was the fact that you are choosing the school, not the coach. Mm-hmm. You're choosing the school, not the coach. Mm-hmm. Well, when you think about that statement, the reason why that had to be a thing is because coaches always had the ability to leave. Mm-hmm.
They could recruit you and they could dip.
Coaches did. Yeah, they could get you in there and then they could go off and go coach right down the road if the money was better. Mm-hmm. And at the time, if that coach left, you didn't get the option to say, "Oh, I want to go with him," or "Oh, I want to go to a different school because I don't know who's coming here now. That guy that's coming in didn't recruit me. He may not want me, so I want to go somewhere else." And
I got to
reprove that
myself.
ability to move, right? And it was a lot of guys feel was victim to not being in a great situation at their current school, but they didn't have any recourse. So the idea of the transfer portal, to me, just takes the restraints off of the athlete. And then and let me go into this whole little spiel about the student athlete in college and the NCAA and all of that other bullshit. Is the idea that that the NCAA always wanted to make the student athlete no different than the everyday student. Mm-hmm. Like, they didn't want the student athlete to get any perks of being a student athlete. They wanted to be that was the whole reasoning behind the quote unquote amateur status, and we can't pay players, and choose your school, not your coach. You don't want to just be moving around and this, that, and the third. Well, the problem with that is that these students are making these schools hundreds of millions of dollars.
Absolutely.
College football is a $1 billion business.
Absolutely.
And the student was the only one not benefiting. And pause to all of the people out there saying, well, the benefit is them getting the education. Stop it. Because we all know that, quite honestly, especially with football, college football is a stepping stone to the NFL.
Yep.
Now, with that being said, a small percentage of those players will actually make the NFL, and we know that. But to me, if I am a top engineer on a campus, not only will I have a scholarship to go to that school, but quite possibly I will have either a job or I will have a stipend coming in for my academic performance. Now, how is that any different from that athlete getting a stipend for the things that he is doing on the field? And remember, athletes couldn't have jobs.
Yep, they sure couldn't.
So for the college athlete, you were completely handcuffed. Because again, if I was a regular engineering student and I wanted to change schools, guess what? I can go and change schools. If I was going to LSU today and I wanted to go to Southern University tomorrow, I could absolutely do that. But for the athlete, he wasn't able to do that unless he was willing to give up his athletic opportunity.
Yep. So let me ask you.
And so athletes were completely handcuffed.
Yeah. So
before all of this happened.
So in today's time, and in literally today, when I say today, I mean today. We've actually had an episode, if you want to go back and listen and go back and scroll through all the video, we had an episode, it probably was like episode 3, called HBCU versus PWI. It was early. We talked about the quad and shit.
The quad versus the yard.
At this day, are you feeling even better, or how are you feeling about your kids' future? Or is now a time where HBCUs are even bigger to push them to, or to encourage them to, or you see what I'm asking you there? Does that make sense?
I think as a African American,
yeah,
I think you should always educate your children about HBCUs. From an educational standpoint, I will always tell somebody that if you know what you want to do, then go to the school that
has the best program
for that. Prepare you to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
With that being said, I think that there is no experience that you can get that can replace the HBCU experience.
That's the college experience.
Yes.
I absolutely agree with that, because I would also say that the same thing. If you know what you want to do, then pick a school that's best for you to do what you want to do. Or if it's not school, then don't go to school. Or if it's
not school, don't go to school.
And that's just how I feel about it. If it's I'm trying to find something for Southern Miss. Okay, I got one. If it's polymer science, go to Southern Miss. Cause we got the best polymer science program in the fucking country. But if it's something else, then don't go to Southern Miss. Go if it's something just in some general shit or something that's specific at this school, then go there. And that's where I would say that I absolutely agree that you should you don't have to encourage them, but just let them know that HBCUs are an option for you if you want that college experience. And I'm all about like. Yeah, if you want that college, I don't give a damn how much money I make. My kids probably gonna stay their ass in that dorm. Although these dorms are different nowadays, but I want you to get that college life experience. You need to get all of that.
Yeah, no, I am a full proponent of our young adults going to HBCUs because again, like I said, I don't think you can replace that experience. As it relates to athletics, I think there's a question mark out there. I think the question becomes, one, will all HBCUs utilize and take advantage of the system that's been created? I think Deion is doing a great job at taking advantage of it. You know, Rob Hollywood believes.
I believe.
Will the other schools in the SWAC and schools in the MEAC do the same?
Mm-hmm.
The second thing, will these players that end up at HBCUs, will they get drafted? That's the question that we have to find out, because at the end of the day, you want a chance to be able to go
Mm-hmm.
to the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
to the NBA. If those opportunities don't happen because you went to a HBCU, or if that's the perception, then I think this is a short wave and it goes by the wayside.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. This is huge, because if the money is right, guys might say, man, I might make it to the NFL or I might not, but I'm still going here because I'm not gonna be broke.
I'm not broke. Like I think that with this new I wish I had his name. My bad. Whatever his name is. With this new number one recruit, I think he's gonna be the question. I think he's gonna be the example. You know, Deion's boys, they all right. Cornerback, little quarterback. They all right. But I think this one is the one. They're not 5-star. This guy is 5-star. If he can be a 5-star going in, be a 5-star coming out, be a 5-star going into the draft, and still be high in the draft and remain that eligibility and remain that high of a draft pick and that interest over there, that will make it better for everyone, I think. Because I think that when you say, okay, where do you want to go to school at? I want to go to these Power 5 schools, but I also can consider these HBCUs because maybe I can play against him. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes the HBCU experience and on the football field, because they're watching him, they're watching you, because you're on the same field. You get an opportunity to play against him twice a year or whatever it may be. That may be on ESPN now, because I don't care what nobody says. This year, I've never seen so many HBCU games on TV and available to watch them. Although they cut off the band a few times, that they shouldn't have cut the band off, because that's what we was there to watch.
They don't know no better.
They don't know no better. Only bands you got was the Bayou Classic. They let us watch the band. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was maybe another game.
Because it's Southern.
Yeah, I feel. Just stuff like that.
I would say that the question, again, back to the questions, is it purely just the Deion effect? Or what other HBCUs will have the opportunity to pick up 5-star recruits?
Since you say the Deion effect, if he left, would it be over with?
Right now, I would think that I would be worried that it would be. Yes,
I'd absolutely agree. I don't think he would leave because his kids are still there.
Well, I don't think he'll leave because he ain't getting a better contract than what he got right now.
Because he got a nice one. Now he might not. He not getting no. Overall, they can pay him a lot of money, but you're not about to get no money off the people in the stands and off them ticket sales from nowhere else.
The contract that Deion has right now is a owner's contract.
Yeah,
he gets a percentage of the merchandising. He gets a percentage of the gate.
Absolutely, you can't beat that.
And on top of his salary, and like you ain't getting that at a lot of places. I don't know if you get that anywhere else. But I mean, is that what it takes for these HBCUs to get these? And I don't. And I kind of say it that I don't consider Deion a great X and O guy, but he can sure recruit. He can sure bring attention. He can sure bring attention to your program. And I think he's doing. Here's the thing. He's doing exactly what he needs to do, and he's doing exactly what he was brought in to do, and he is delivering on it. Mm-hmm. And whatever you say about Deion has shown throughout his college, NFL, and now coaching careers that he can deliver. Who is the next coach? That's the bigger question to me. Who becomes the next coach to go to the ranks of the HBCUs to be that big of a personality?
I wish we had Google that sweat over here, but didn't somebody else go to HBCU?
You got
Hugh,
Eddie George. Is Eddie George in there?
Eddie George over there. What's the dude name that was at Hugh or whatever his name is? Hubert or some shit.
I can't remember. This is bad.
Anyway,
my bad. Gang.
Yeah. I'm trying to Google it. Anyway.
I would love. Yeah, that's Hollywood. I would love to see, the likes of, or the gravitas of a Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
The gravitas of a.
When they're done over there, I'm not asking Mike Tomlin to take a job. I'm not asking him to take a step down from the NFL. Is that okay to say?
I wouldn't necessarily say going to college is a step down. I mean, here's, as a black man, how much are you supporting the NFL right now?
Good point.
You know what I mean? And so I think for a lot of conscious black men, former athletes for sure, I think you have to think about where do I want to use my talents, in the NFL or in this HBCU. I'm less interested in the recruits that Deion can get at Jackson State, and way more interested in, can these school presidents entice and recruit top end black coaching talent and start building these front offices of these schools. Because the players, and no offense to players out there, y'all, that's the ground floor of this larger industrial machine. Mm-hmm. It's not really about the players. I'm sorry.
Yep.
It's about these guys that are in these front offices, the athletic directors, the head coaches. These are the guys that are going to be there longer than 4 years or 5 years. These are the guys that can put into place things that are sustainable. Who's going to be the black Nick Saban? And
I absolutely agree. And as we talk about that, and we talk about our kids, so let's pull in sports out. I think I might have kind of asked this already, but pulling sports out, should we as parents, should we push our, I guess I kind of already asked that, to say, should we tell our kids to consider HBCUs in general?
Absolutely, we should.
And I think that we're at that point where HBCUs are changing. That we should. I think we should keep that shit in house.
But that's the thing.
Because the reason why I asked that, though, let me add this. The reason why I asked that is because now that we are full blown adults, it's kind of like, I know a lot of coworkers. I don't know where they got their degree from. I just know they got a degree. So why not have gotten that shit at HBCU?
Right.
I'm sure some of my coworkers, they might assume I went to an HBCU. Mm-hmm. So why not? Why I should have just went to an HBCU? Mm-hmm. I know a lot of my coworkers and people who are ahead of me on the food chain of work and shit. They might think that Southern Miss is a HBCU.
They may.
They probably do.
Miss halfway at HBCU.
We're halfway HBCU, so I might have went to HBCU. I might have missed out on some experiences that I could have been a part of.
Yeah. I mean, and the good and the bad. I mean, those of us that have experienced that HBCU life, it's good and bad. The registration sucks.
Our registration sucks too, though.
Dorms typically suck. I tell you one thing that don't suck: them cafeteria ladies be throwing it down.
we got like 4 or 5 cafeterias, but that one with all the black people at, that's the one though.
That's the one. Yeah, all of them the one at HBCUs. I think there's a different and you may disagree, and I think it'll be interesting to explore. I think it is different when you are a part of Greek life at a HBCU.
What's different about it?
I think, and I could be wrong, but I think the perception of members that pledged at HBCUs, the perception is that they are quote unquote, they went harder than somebody that pledged at PWIs.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah,
wait a minute. The key word there was perception.
That's why I put it in there.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad you put that word in there.
I ain't trying to take nothing from you, Dow.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that I know when I came through, and probably we kind of caught the tail end of this. I would say that HBCU chapters got more respect than PWI chapters.
By perception.
Okay.
By perception.
Okay.
And that's it. Yeah, but when you say respect, you can say that. We don't have to get into this because a lot of our listeners might not be Greek. But I see what you mean.
I'm just saying that there is to me there is a difference when you go to an HBCU and you are a part of Greek life. When you are at an HBCU and you are a part of a black organization, I think it's different.
But everybody's school black though. It's a lot of black It's a lot of black organizations. All the organizations are black at an HBCU, right? Aren't 100% of the organizations black at an HBCU?
Sure.
If you're at that PWI, not all organizations are 100% black.
Right.
We have organizations called African. Y'all didn't have AASO, which we had, African American something organization. So we had organizations that were strictly black, but every organization at an HBCU is strictly black.
Right.
I don't want to go too far into that because everybody's not a Greek and everybody's not. I don't really want to get into that argument.
I didn't really put it out there to have to go delve into it. All I'm saying really and truly is
the perception of a going Greek at an HBCU. You'll be respected bigger because you went to an HBCU. That's what you're saying.
I think the perception is different. Yeah, I would leave it at that.
Yeah, let's leave it at that.
That could turn into a whole other episode.
We can go there later. Let's do this. Because I actually have something. What we at? About 40 minutes. I got something I want to ask you. But let's take we said we're gonna start this. Let's take another shot. We said we're gonna call it happy hour. Let's take another happy hour shot. And I want to ask you something about. It's actually some more race shit actually.
Okay.
And I want to congratulate you, by the way. And congratulate myself too, because we had a whole first half of the episode. Go ahead and pour your shot. I'm pouring mine. We had a whole first half of the episode, and we have not said the N word.
I was just thinking that
while talking about HBCU. Congratulations. Maybe somebody gonna pay us now for not saying that shit.
We ain't gonna get demonetized.
Yeah, there you go. So,
there you go, man. Cheers.
Cheers to the shot. There you go. All right. So, if you have been watching the news, as I always say, there was a recent school shooting in Michigan. A kid went to school. And shot up the school. Basically, long story short, Parents had came to the school earlier that day. And now that the story has unfolded a little more, the kid is obviously in school, and now his parents in jail. Now his parents have been charged. Mm-hmm. So as a teacher, I ask you, first of all, should his parents take some form of responsibility for him?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's no question about with this situation for sure.
Is there an age limit to the parents taking responsibility for that?
No, I don't think it has anything to do with age. I think it just depends on the situation itself. And shit, I don't know how much you want to go into it, but dog, in this situation, the parents were absolutely at the very least, negligent. At the very least, some might think they're culpable. I mean, is there? I mean, when you start digging into the facts of the case, I mean, they bought him the gun.
They did.
They
taught him how to shoot.
They taught him how to shoot. They went to the gun range with him. They trained him up. They were informed that he was drawing graphic pictures about people being killed at school, and instead of addressing it, the mom said, you got to do a better job at not getting caught. So, and not only that, then they were brought to the school because of concerns about his well-being, and they didn't pull him. And later on that day, he ends up committing this heinous act. But I think that we see a timeline of events that it's hard to deny that these parents
could have stopped this shit.
And who knows if they could have stopped it, but I think I think the prosecution can truly show that they bear some responsibility, or they were neglectful in. Yeah,
I would say they were neglectful,
taking care of their responsibility.
In their responsibility as a parent, because there were a lot of white people on social media that were saying that this kid was a minor. Parents shouldn't be held responsible for this because black kids commit crimes all the time. Mm-hmm. And our black parents are not held responsible for our kids. Is why
I think kids commit crimes all the time in general. Now, obviously, you don't have kids every day committing a crime like this, but kids in general make mistakes. I
don't know if I would classify this one as a mistake, though.
No, I'm not.
This motherfucker was ready to go.
I'm definitely not. I never intended it to come off like that, but I think that it's extremely difficult to just blanket say if your kid commits a crime, then it's your fault. I think you have to be extremely careful to go down that particular path, because I think that path can become a real slippery slope. I think in this particular case, it's different because we can connect the dots on the events that took place
of how this kid was able to do this shit.
The shooting. Yeah. Let's just say another kid commits a crime. It doesn't necessarily mean that kid's parent bought him a gun, trained him how to use the gun, was told that he might do something inappropriate with the gun, and instead of doing something about it, actually laughed, LOL, laughed out loud and said, do better to not get caught. To me, at that point, now parents
Your ass is
have a
responsible.
responsibility.
You're responsible. Your ass need to go to jail too.
Correct.
And then you ran when we came to talk to you about it. So therefore, obviously he's
right.
running.
And to that person that said, "Oh, black people commit crimes too," understand this: that when a black person gets over policed, over sentenced, I don't hear anybody else saying, wait, hold on, we can't do that to the black people because white people commit crimes too. No, what happens to us, and we have to fight our own battles to not get it to happen to us. And so this white kid and his white parents, they're going to have to fight their own fight. And if they go to court and prove that they weren't responsible for it, then, hey, kudos to them. But they going to have to sit there and stand in front of a judge and try to make that shit happen.
Absolutely. So I feel the same way. When I first saw the story about it, and I saw that people were saying that black parents should be held responsible for their kids' crimes, I said you were trying to relate this to some other stuff, because with this story, they basically trained this little dude to do this. And when he did it, well, before he did it, they brought him to the school and said, your son is doing this, doing that. And then when it was all said and done, they went and did it. They don't even know this. These parents could have brought the gun to the school. They don't even know. They could have gave him the gun at this point.
I mean, and there's some different things that go along with this case, because there are laws on the book that if you have a gun in your residence with kids, or no matter what, if you have a gun in your residence, that gun needs to be secured. Now, the parents are saying that they had the gun secured and they don't know how he was able to get to it.
That's bullshit.
So I'm just telling you what their argument is.
Yeah.
The other argument they have made is that when they went up to the school, when the school called them to come up there and have a conference about what the actions of their child, the school made it optional for them to either take him or he could stay. And so the argument that they're making is that, well, the school didn't think it was serious enough for us to have to take him. You know, they told them that they need to set up counseling within 48 hours. And so their argument is, well, the trained professionals told us we had 48 hours. How could we possibly have known that we should have taken him out of school at that point?
But then you hear you're being charged and you dip.
Again, lawyer is arguing that they were receiving death threats and he wanted to help them stay protected, which I believe is bullcrap, because you went and hid in some abandoned warehouse. I mean, it's just a lot of to me BS that goes along with it. At the end of the day, you had a child go shoot up another school, and I think I think this leads us to a bigger question of how many school shootings must occur before we actually do something about it.
So what should we do about it?
Exactly.
Let me ask you this: as a teacher, what should we do about it?
I think we have to make harsher penalties.
Is this a harsher penalty? Start charging the fucking parents?
Yeah, I think it is. But it's not always the parents, though. That's the thing. It's not always on the parents. Sometimes it's 100% squarely on the kids.
On the badass kids.
Right.
like the one that got shot out, the one that did the shooting out here in Grand Prairie. Mansfield area in Dallas. You know, that little kid, you know, he said he was being bullied, supposedly.
Yeah.
His parents had just got into a fight. You know, his parents got him in a nice neighborhood. You know, you live in Mansfield. Your house is nice. I saw where they went to try to arrest you at. It's a nice area. Like, you can't really blame the parents on that one.
Yeah, man, I don't understand. I don't know, honestly. I think that's the part of the reason why we don't have a solution, because I don't know if there's a good solution. Because I think it's easy to say for me, being in education, is that it's hard to create laws that influence society. And what I mean by that is, I think our society has a problem where people feel like if they are having problems, then the issue is, or the solution is, go grab a gun.
So I think I think
that's a societal problem.
Yeah, and I think that this question will come off on the next episode of Chicken and Whiskey Talks, where we sit down and talk to the police. I think that is a question of when should we start, at what age? Because, these kids are getting a little older now, if that makes sense. These kids are, the 12-year-old back in the day ain't the same 12-year-old. Is that fair to say?
Yes. Absolutely.
At what age do we start charging these kids as adults?
Do you bring that down?
Do you bring that down? That's what I'm saying.
I think that, again, I don't think that solves the problem. Because at that point, if you're
they don't know no better. They don't know no better. They don't know no better.
But if you're charging the kid as an adult, that means one thing, that a crime has already happened.
Yeah, and
it's already
and they probably didn't know you about to do 40.
But even if they do, that's my point. Even if they do, then let me put it like this: the United States has the largest incarcerated population in the world. In the world. Is prison time stopping criminals from committing crime?
Is that the answer?
Is it a deterrent? Is my question.
No, it ain't.
So again, it goes back to, what are we doing as a people, as a society, that is what about our society is broken? That's the question. When you have, and what I mean is by this, when you have what should be the best of us, our elected officials, taking Christmas pictures in front of Christmas trees a week after a school shooting, with their kids in the pictures holding ARs.
Who did that? If you don't mind me asking, I missed that one.
Multiple Republicans.
Oh, okay. Oh, they always doing some bullshit, but yeah.
But what I'm saying is that when a week, days after you have a school shooting, you have an elected official
with his kids,
multiple elected officials in a Christmas picture in front of a Christmas tree, their kid holding a rifle. If I would say at this point, when you see stuff like that, society is out of whack. Because, like I just said, that you didn't even hear about it.
Yep.
That's not even a big deal. We're so numb to it. We're so stuck in whatever bubble we're stuck in that it's not even newsworthy. This kid just went and shot up a school. A couple of weeks before that, we had a school shooting in Texas. And it doesn't make it past a week of a news cycle before it's poof.
Well, it's another one, and it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
You can't legislate that. You can't legislate fucked up society. That's people. That goes to the heart of people.
That's on the people. Can't nobody stop that. Ain't no law that's gonna make. Ain't no law you can write that's gonna stop that shit. That's about the people stopping that shit.
That's my point, dog.
And I think
that's my point.
And I definitely agree with that. And I think that's a great point for us to leave it at that. And leave our listeners something to think about. We can't. We can blame Trump, blame Biden, blame Kamala. I said it wrong on purpose.
Where her is it?
I don't know where she at. We can blame all of them motherfuckers, but that ain't gonna affect what we do as a people. And
so the question becomes, how do we, I guess going back to the HBCU conversation, how do we focus on us?
Yeah, we gotta get us right first.
We gotta get us right. Let them be the motherfuckers. Because I tell you, you remember you grew up the same time I grew up. When you heard of some crazy shit happening, we knew. Hey man, that ain't us that did that crazy shit.
Ain't us did that shit. I bet he white.
You remember the first time you had heard some crazy shit and you found out that it was somebody black and you was like, well, no, that can't be right. I remember the first time.
I know who it was. I know exactly who it was. The DC sniper.
The DC sniper. The DC sniper. Man,
everybody's like,
no! Hey, we heard about that shit and we like, man, these white people going crazy.
It was like,
and we found out he was black.
It was like, no! No!
He ruined it for us.
He's like, good. Damn.
We was good.
Everybody
man.
knew the DC
black serial killers.
Everybody was like, I know the DC sniper ain't. I know he a white dude. I know he a white dude.
It's one of
us.
He ruined it. He ruined it for us. He ruined it. We got to get back to us not being crazy.
We got to take care of us, man. Hey, man.
We got to take care of us, man.
Let's get to our Bodega Lights and get up out of here, man.
Bodega Lights, man. We got last call, man.
Last call for alcohol. Last
call.
Hold on.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I need to announce it's last call at the bar. Oh.
My bad. All right. Yeah.
Can we continue?
Yeah, hold on. I'll put a wrong shot of the wrong shit. I don't need to drink no shot of that. Dog, give me your Bodega Lights, man. Give me your final shots, man.
Man. My Bodega Lights tonight, man. My Bodega Lights tonight are simple. Man, take pride in your melanin. That's my Bodega Light.
Take pride in your melanin.
Take pride in your melanin. Man, if you want to send your kids to that HBCU, man, send your kids to that HBCU, man. HBCUs are a great place. But even if you don't, wherever you go, take pride in your melanin. Man, if you on the job and you might have a good job, you might have a bad job. You might have a job that you can't stand. But every time you go to that job, be the best employee there because you need to take pride in your melanin. Man, if you in school, man, and you don't like school, or you might love school, you might have a major that never make money. You might have a major that you coming out making 6 figures. Whatever the case may be, good student, bad student, late student, early student, do your best because you need to take pride in your melanin. Man, it's real easy for us to blame a lot of other people for the issues that we have. But a lot of issues that we have can be solved quite simply. And it's not by Joe Biden or Donald Trump or Kamala. It's solved by us. And the way that we solve it is real simple. Take pride in your melanin. And I'm gone.
And he gone. Gone home. I'm gonna keep mine simple, man. I think I'm gonna take mine back to the original topic. As an PWI graduate, I'm gonna say that, you know, it kind of relates to what you said. Take pride in your melanin. If you can and if you're willing and able, support our HBCUs.
In any way you can.
Any way you can. I was on a text message today. They said Jackson State was asking 50,000 alumni. I mentioned this earlier. They had 50,000 alumni to donate $100. I said, hey, can I donate $100? Well, maybe like $25, $20, whatever. Can I donate? Because I want to support my HBCUs.
There you go, man.
It ain't too late. Just because you didn't go there don't mean you don't need to support our HBCUs. And it ain't just about the football team. The football team does lead to better... Damn, I don't know what happened over there, but the football team does lead to better facilities and things on campus. Yes, it does. If that's the breadwinner of the campus, I understand. There's also a lot of schools who don't have football teams. But let's just support our HBCUs. And that's it. I'm just leave it at
That's
that.
it, though.
Support our HBCUs.
HBCUs, man.
Cheers to y'all.
Boom.
And we out there, bitch. Go ahead and take us out of here, J. Duke.
Man, hey, man, you know we always do it about this time, but don't forget, like, subscribe, share, and leave some comments, man. We are on YouTube. Go check us out, man. This is, and this has been, the Chicken and Whiskey Podcast, episode number 61. This is how we always end it, man. God is love.
And love is God.
DJ, play my motherfucking thing.
Music.
Bow, bow, bow.
We got the chicken and whiskey, everybody is tipsy. Got the 2-piece, and you know that it's crispy. Welcome to the Chicken and Whiskey Podcast. We keep the combo flowing, hope you got a tall glass. Hosted by your favorite two, Rob Hollywood and J Duke the Groove. There ain't no limits, we cover everything. Give it to you straight, we ain't pulling no strings. You know we chop it up just like sushi. Like the chicken, the conversation juicy. No topic is ever off limit. And it's so hot, you don't wanna miss a minute. Culture and sports, going back and forth. Relationships, every topic on earth. Now watch the show on YouTube. Make sure you're early, I ain't tryna be rude. And listen to us on your favorite place to hear a podcast. Cause you should have a blast. Every Friday at noon is when it goes down. We got the hottest combo around. You know what time it is. You ain't gotta ask me your favorite podcast. Nah, it's the Chicken and Whiskey Podcast. Let's go.